As the countdown to the 2023 elections continues, northern and southeastern groups have been trading words over who to take over the mantle of leadership following the completion of the 8-year tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari. The IGBO Elders Consultative Forum has warned that any attempt to deny the southeast the chance to produce the 2023 presidency would spell doom for the continued existence of Nigeria. Now, the group, also known as IGBO Ohaneze Ndibo, at a press conference in Abuja, also warned the ruling All Progressives Congress and the opposition People's Democratic Party not to deny the Southeast region their 2023 presidential tickets, as the corporate existence of the country depends on an Igbo man becoming the next president of Nigeria. The coalition of northern groups, on the other hand, accused members of IGBO Elders Consultative Forum and other groups clamoring for the emergence of a president of Southeast extraction, saying they're going about their agitation in a wrong manner. The Northern Coalition alleged that the IGBO Elders constituted a serious security threat to the country, adding that their recent warning that any attempt to elude the Southeast geopolitical zone of the presidency in 2023 would rupture Nigeria's corporate existence betrayed their desperation. Now, the CNJ therefore called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of IECF members led by former Anambra Governor Chief Chukwuemeka Ezefe for threatening the nation, its institutions, and its people. Now, joining us in the studio this morning to give us more perspectives on the issue is spokesperson of the Coalition of Northern Groups, Abdulaziz Suleiman. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on Daybreak today.
So, Abdulaziz, you have reacted to what the Igbo group said regarding the 2023 presidential race. But some people feel that the North is being selfish, and you are defending that selfishness of the North by insisting that the Igbo should not insist on having the presidency.
Not really selfish, because I don't think in democracy there is any provision for a certain region to make it compulsory that power must shift to its people. For instance, we are worried that the South is, they are not only looking for a president from the Southeast, which is also undemocratic, but they are asking for an ethnic president, clearly asking for an Igbo president. And by their action, the fear is that they have lost every trust they can no longer be entrusted with power, because you don't pose as a threat and think you will be trusted with power. You see, we are concerned because these threats are coming from not only ordinary groups, but leaders of thought of the Southeast. These are people who are supposed ordinarily to be diplomatic and cautious. But when leaders begin to threaten the entire country, the continued existence of a country, and still believe they will be trusted with power, it becomes curious. You see, we are not only talking about why are we not talking about the Southwest? Because when the Southwest also tried to make it a must, we challenged them. Now they have opted for the democratic option of allowing due process. You see, it's not a question. Now, if they talk about fairness and justice, and we believe their interpretation of fairness in this context is warped, is one-sided. Because if you are talk about justice and fairness, since 1999, when with the inception of this current dispensation, I think the North only had the opportunity to rule. If Buhari completes these 8 years, that will be 10 years. From 1999, there was a brief takeover by the North for 2 years with Umaru Yar'Adua, and whatever zoning arrangement was agreed on, which has all along been controversial, must have been laid to rest by the insistence of the South to contest in 2011. They contested in 2011 when it was clearly supposed to be the turn of the North. So they must have breached whatever rule of fairness they are talking about now. As far as we are concerned, the controversial, the zoning arrangement, controversial as it were, had been dead and buried since 2011. And now they want to revive it, and they blame the North. You see, our concern is that when the Southeast wants to agitate, they single out the North for blame. Because they specifically, the Igbo elders specifically warned their politicians not to pick a Northerner.
So sorry, we'd have to actually cut you short here. We'll take a quick breather and we'll be right back.
Every patriotic Nigerian should hear this. Any politician who means well for the people will never allow themselves or their supporters to engage in any violent, destructive activities. No politician who truly wants to serve the people and develop the nation will encourage his followers to destroy properties or take human lives before, during, or after the elections. The Nigerian public must watch out for these traits and isolate any politician who encourages supporters to engage in violence. No genuine politician or patriot will cause trouble and seek to destroy the very society which they aspire to lead or develop. Politicians who have the good of the people at heart will not allow themselves or their followers to engage in violence, destruction of properties, and then taking of lives. Be vigilant. By their words you shall know them. Shun violence. Stay away from politicians who want you to do so. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NORA.
Welcome back. We apologize for that quick break in transmission. Just before we went on a break, we were speaking to the spokesperson of the Coalition of Northern Groups, Abdulaziz Suleiman. And right now we have joining us in the studio a representative of the Igbo Elders Forum, talking about the Secretary of the Igbo Elders Consultative Forum, Professor Charles Nwekeku. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, so just before that break, we actually cut you short. But one question I actually also want to ask is, you know, despite all that, why call for the arrest of some of the Igbo elders?
Yeah, you see, because of the utterances were inflammatory and inciting. Because as elders, like I said, they were expected to be cautious, to be diplomatic at least, and not to have gone that far as to threaten crisis, conflicts, and even a breakaway, because they said they would consider Biafra if they were not given the presidency. And like we said, we were compelled to react because their agitation was much more concentrated against the North, not against. I think, to be fair and just, if they have any grudge or complaint, they should direct it to the southwest and south-south, because even the controversial agreement in the PDP, zoning agreement in the PDP, states that the rotation should be between the north and the south, and the south has had several years of power being shifted to it, but they denied the southeast. It's not the north that denied the southeast, it's the south that denied the southeast, and preferred the southwest and the south-south. But whenever they want to agitate, they point at the north. And now, okay, talking about they combined the two parties. I think even the zoning agreement that is yet to be clarified is only binding on the PDP. And not the APC. The APC has never had that agreement. This is the first time they are coming to power, and they might not be bound. They might not be compelled to but that is what the Igbo elders were saying. They were talking about the two parties, that they must. You see, to use the word must, compulsion, in a democracy is really threatening.
Right.
It says that you don't shave a man's head in his absence. Now that we have Professor Onwekeku, Prof, what is the onus of this, your call? Can you tell us why in the first place, and what is your demand in summary?
Thank you so much. I think I want to commend you for extending your invitation to me as the Secretary of Igbo Elders Consultative Forum. I think maybe there was a communication gap from the point of Abdulaziz. I don't think he got the Igbo elders correct. Number one, the Igbos are saying that for long they have been marginalized in the governance of Nigeria. Despite the sacrifices they have made, their contributions, immense contributions to the unity, progress, and development of Nigeria. Now, you see, before independence, let me highlight on this thing. Before independence, when Chief Antonio Nahoro moved a motion for self-independence for Nigeria, that was in 1956, that Nigeria should be self-independent by 1957. The northern region wasn't ready then. It was an Igbo man, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who was the leader of NCNC, that came in and said, look, we needed the North. We needed every person. I said, look, that motion should stay. Let's wait for the whole country to be ready. That was a wonderful contribution because the North wanted to secede then. You can find out. Two, in the 1960 election, the independence election, there was a stalemate on the appointment of Prime Minister because the MPC didn't win, that is enough seats. NCNC didn't win, Action Group didn't win. So who becomes the Prime Minister? It was again the NCNC led by Zeke that came and said, look, let's have one Nigeria, a united Nigeria. Appoint a Prime Minister from Northern People's Congress. Sardauna Sokoto was to become the Prime Minister because he was the leader of the party. But he ceded the position to his lieutenant, Tafawa Balewa. You see another contribution. Now, if you also come, 1979, the election of 1979. Now, NPN, led by Shehu Shagari, won 5-point-something million votes, about 5.7 million votes. Then, I'm summarizing, I'm justifying why the Igbos are asking, is their time. Now, the Action UPN, led by Chief Obafemi Awolowo, won about 4.8 million votes. The Nigerian People's Party, led by Zeke, won 4.2 million votes. Awolowo had actually come for the two parties to see. If they had mind, Shahara wouldn't have been president. But for the unity of Nigeria, Zeke again, who was the leader of MPP, said, look, instead of merging with the brothers in the West, let's merge with the North. And that was how they formed the federal government. I can keep on. Even in 1999, you know, when the military was there, an Igbo, an illustrious Igbo son, was the one who spearheaded the formation of Group 34 that eventually metamorphosed into PDP.
Okay.
And then at the time he was about to pick the ticket, now because of the cancellation, the annulment of June 1993 election, believed to have been won by Chief MKO Abiola, and then they said, look, let's compensate the West. The Igbo lost again. So these are some of the contributions. Even recently, I can keep on mentioning. And then if you come to Nigerian governance, out of 60, by 2023, Nigeria would have been, by 67 years, Northeast has governed Nigeria for 23 years. 6 years under Tafawa Balewa, 6 years. Northwest, 23 years. North Central, 18 years, totaling 47 years. Southwest, when you come to Southwest has governed Nigeria for basically about 12 years under Obasanjo as a military head of state and the civilian. And now South, 6 years. Southeast is only 6 months. And we are saying for the sake of peace, equity, and fairness, this time is the turn of the Southeast. And see, why I said threat, we said based on the information available to us, the youths are restless. The youth said the elders are not talking, and that they will no longer take it, that they will no longer want to be slaves in Nigeria and confederation. Okay. And so we are saying, if Southeast is denied opportunity this time, we may not control what will happen. All right, we're not threatening any person. We are appealing that our brothers in the north, we are not intimidating any person. We are not threatening any person.
It's not a threat.
They should consider this for the sake of peace.
Okay.
Justice and
Mr. Charles.
And let the Southeast produce this time.
Okay, Mr. Charles, now the PDP has actually thrown its ticket open,
yes.
Despite, the APC, leaning towards zoning in the South. Yes. What is the position of the forum on this decision?
Yes. Equally, what PDP has done is bad. First is that PDP has zoning arrangement in its constitution. Even APC, because let me quote the federal 1999 constitution, from which every other agencies and this thing derive their this thing. Section 14, subsection 3 of 1999 constitution states that whatever government of the federation or its agencies will do must be done to reflect the federal character of Nigeria in order to give every section a sense of belonging. By this very provision, because Constitution takes precedence, it is also binding on APC and other parties that they should reflect the federal character of Nigeria. And this federal character of Nigeria is being reflected in other things. That's why when you take JAMB, you see somebody from Southeast scoring 270, the person will miss admission. And you see somebody scoring 120 from some other parts, getting admission is everywhere. Every person knows this. In recruitment into the public service, the same thing. Because when you go to every exam, recruitment, promotion, the same thing. So we have been applying federal character in everything. Therefore, it is binding on every person, every organization, every agency in Nigeria to reflect that federal character. So what APC, PDP has thrown it open. PDP has forgotten the immense contributions the Southeast made. Since 1999, Southeast has remained constant PDP state. I have been voting for PDP. Despite the fact that it was a son from Southeast that spearheaded the formation of PDP. So if PDP goes ahead and this ticket eludes the Southeast and the South, that would be a bye-bye for PDP in the South.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Prof.
Wait, as I'm talking.
We'll come back to you if you hold on a bit. Suleiman, you've heard him. Yeah. And so why is it difficult for, especially with all this history, historically, as he points out, the North has always been an ally of the Southeast. What is happening? What has changed over time?
You see, it's quite true that our traditional political friends were the Southeast. And there was a fantastic arrangement during the First Republic, which was inadvertently scuttled by the Southeasterners themselves. They scuttled that arrangement and lost the trust of the North because their action mostly affected the Northern leadership at that time. So they inadvertently lost the trust of the North from that from the end of the First Republic. Now we came all along, and I think the North made two overtures. I think twice the North picked the vice president from the Southeast. Buhari had 2 Southeastern vice presidents, but the Southeast in particular refused to vote that party. So they refused to vote their own man to become vice president and chose to vote a party that fielded a non-Southeasterner as president and another non-Southeasterner as vice. So you can see they appear not to know really what they want, and we are not saying they should not agitate, but if you are going to agitate, you should point at Nigeria as a whole, not single out the North, because as it is now, the Southeast is singling out the North, mentioning the North and cautioning or warning their politicians not to pick running mates from the North, as if it's the North that has been denying them the right to become president. We all believe that politics is about persuasion, it's about presenting your credentials, and that's what we've been saying, that we would not mind anybody who can convince us, who would come for our votes, but you can't compel us, you can't threaten us, you can't intimidate us. We're not going to give in to that. But what the Southeastern leaders did recently absolutely points to a threat and intimidation, because to threaten a country that you cannot control your youth when your region is not given the presidency is blatant.
Okay, now, Mr. Charles, what
Yes.
other options are there for the Southeast if presidency eludes them and, you know, if they lose out
Well,
on
in
the
the first place, let me
2023
correct his wrong impression. He said that the Southeast caused a mistrust. He hasn't explained the mistrust. The Southeast had never caused any mistrust. If he's referring to the 1966 coup, it wasn't an Igbo coup. They were from all parts of the country, even from Castina. Go and find out. It wasn't an Igbo coup, but just that it was dubbed Igbo coup, if he's referring to that. 2, that Southeastern refused to vote for Buhari. Yes, in 2003, Buhari used our son, I think, Chief Edwin Umezoke as the running mate. And then subsequently, he used Chubokadi as a running mate. I can tell you authoritatively that as an Igbo, the Igbos never met, say we are not going to vote for this. But you know, the Igbos are business-oriented. Igbos were the candidates and felt that the Buhari is a pure military man. They needed somebody that would do business. After all, it's Atiku Abubakar not from the north. The Igbos voted massively because they knew that Atiku is a successful businessman. They voted for him. The Igbos have nothing against Buhari, has nothing against the north. Even this one he's saying the north. The Igbos have never said the north has done this. The Igbos are saying, Nigerians, please, this is the turn of the southeast. Zone, first of all, zone distinct to the south. And it's not only the southeast that is saying it. Remember, the Southern Governors Forum has said the presidency should be zoned to the south. The Southern and Middle Belt Forum has said the presidency should be zoned to not just south, southeast. Aferi southwest, the leader, Chifaya Debanja, has said, he even openly said, the people from the south were contesting for president should step down, that he should be zoned to the southeast.
But sir, at the same token,
Edwin Clark,
I'm just going to write on that, sir.
Yes.
At the same token, Chief Rap Waziriki last week said that the Igbo aspirants aspiring for the presidency are jokers, that they are just, they are positioning themselves for vice presidency. What is...
We have called him. I think he said he was misquoted. He said he was misquoted. He has uncorrected that. He said that he was misquoted. Because,
but if you said so, I think what he said, sir.
Wait,
no, I'm just going
when Chief Wazirike was detained the Igbo leaders came and signed for his release. So Igbo leaders have summoned him, and he said he was misquoted. And if somebody denies what you attribute, you don't need to kill the person. Wazike has long said he did it, he was misquoted. So coming to the option you are talking of, and so equally, let me also correct my friend. He said we are pointing at the north. Middle Belt is not part of the north. The leader of Middle Belt has said zone the presidency to southeast. Dr. Butrus Pogu. Is Middle Belt not part of the north? So we are not accusing any person specifically. North has not. There are Alhaji Yakas has said, is he not a northerner? He has said zone the presidency to the south. I can keep on mentioning that. Buba Galadima has said zone the presidency to the southeast. Are they not northerners? So it is wrong for my friend to say.
But you know, sir, there are sayings that you don't dash power.
I agree with you.
People
Yes.
go for it. And that is why even what Wazirike said, actually, even though you say he
You are
denied
right.
it, excuse me, sir, even though you say he denied it, it's not far from what some people are saying.
Yes.
That they have not, the Igbo politicians or Igbo people from that area have not demonstrated enough seriousness that they are really going for this.
Whoever is saying it is not honest. And let me explain to you. Power is not given to any person. But there are things that help to acquire power. In the context of Nigeria, we have structural imbalance. Remember, Nigeria, by independence, had 3 regions. Western region, Eastern region, Northern region. But today, Northern region has 19 states plus FCT. So that means if you go to Senate, the North has 58 senators plus that of FCT 59 against the South. So Southeast you're talking of, we are in just 5 states. We have only 15 senators. House of Representatives, the same thing. Local government, the same thing. So the structural imbalance you have has made it difficult for Southeast to contest and win it, because we are talking of delegates now. Other things being equal, the delegates from the North will be by far more than what is coming from the South. Therefore, if you throw it open, even if you have, among all these aspirants, tell me who is better than Peter Obi of Anambra State? Who is better than Oboniono? We have many wonderful presidential aspirants, but because of the structural imbalance, if you throw it open, you've already put us in a disadvantaged position. So you can see that one region now has, if you have 19 states from FCT, 20. So by far more than the South put together. So that structural imbalance is our major constraint. And apart from that, remember, in 1999, because of the injustice believed to have been done to the Southwest by the annulment of the election, believed to have been won by Chief MK Abiola, that 1993 election, it was said, look, let's compensate the South. That was why even if Kwame decided, let's leave it for the Southwest. That was why the 2 parties fielded people from Southwest, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo and Chief Olufale. So that whether you talk of the head or the tail, it favored the Southwest. So others didn't. As at then, Oboniono was the candidate of ANPP, but he decided to step down. An Igbo man again, he sacrificed it to accommodate our brothers in the Southwest, to appease them. So we are saying that what is good for the geese is good for the gander. Okay. We've demonstrated that for the North, we've demonstrated that for the West, we've demonstrated that for other parts of Nigeria. This is the time to demonstrate the same thing to the Southeast.
All right, let me forward the next question to Mr. Abdulaziz here. Now, do you think, it is still rational to sustain what some people, term as turn-by-turn leadership concept, or do you think, the presidency should be given based on merit?
That is more ideal. The ideal situation should be a leader coming out on merit. But due to the complexities of Nigeria and the need to manage our diversity, the issue of perhaps considering rotation wouldn't have been a bad idea. That is, if it is implemented in a decent manner. We all know that at some point the Southwest, the Southwest played the same mistake by refusing to come on stream. You understand? They were not playing mainstream politics, they are playing regional politics, just the way the Southeast is doing right now. But at a point, they decided to come on stream, and you can see the Southwest is now playing national politics and not regional politics. You see, if we go back a bit to what he said as misinformation or misunderstanding, I think we are all aware of the desperation to write, review, and change the narratives over the 1966 incident. But that's a question for another day. And I still insist that we are not mistaken when we say that the Southeast leaders specifically warned their politicians not to pick a northerner as running mate, which is really worrying. Why single out the North? If you are talking about the whole of Nigeria, that Nigeria owes you something, why the North? That's what we are saying. So if elders, these are elders. If it were just ordinary groups, perhaps we may not have cared to react. But these are elders who are supposed to be listened to, who are supposed to build bridges, making such utterances. So we felt we really had to respond to them, which was why we said that was threatening and frightening, and will not be accepted.
So, Abdulaziz, the Northern President, President Muhammadu Buhari, is just about to complete 8 years. Shouldn't it be only fair for another person from another region to succeed Buhari after an 8-year stretch?
Of course, it would be fair, but then it has to be democratically done. It has to be by persuasion, not by intimidation. That's what we are saying. Anybody can come from any other region so long as he is competent. We consider him to be competent, capable of getting Nigeria out of its limitations. But we don't see any reason why a leader should come from just through regional consideration or sectional consideration or ethnic consideration.
Well, you have actually said that the Igbos cannot be trusted with the presidency.
Yeah, with the way they are going. You see, for people that have taken up arms about 3 times against the state, and people who still threaten other parts of the country, we are all aware of the threats issued by IPOP. We are all aware of the attacks on government institutions and symbols of the federal government carried out in the Southeast. So that actually, naturally, has deprived them of the trust of most Nigerians.
Isn't something similar happening in the North as well?
No, not really. Not really. Not really. The North has never threatened to break away at the slightest of pretenses. But the issue of the Southeast is clear. There's no ambiguity there. For 60 years, they have been agitating for an out. For 60 years. And in most cases, they go violent. So you can see it's not our fault. We used to be friends.
So let me come back to Prof. Yeah. Some people actually say that a major undoing of Igbo leaders is that when these agitations started, especially what has happened, especially in 2011, I mean in 2021, last year around this time, when the tension was very high, that a lot of you leaders did not come out to really address the issue or even call these young people to order before, and that's why a lot of people see it as if you are trying to blackmail the country into submission. What do you say
Thank you
about
so much. Before that, let me correct a wrong impression. Number one, he said that there should be first that Igbo elders advise their people not to pick a running mate from the North. It is wrong. It is not true. Igbo elders said, look, our politicians, we don't want you to be running mate to any person. It's either you are a candidate or let's remain like that. We don't want you to be running mate. So it is a wrong information. Wait, because look at Nigeria today. What's the exchange rate of Naira? It's over 580. Yeah. Over 580.
Nearly 600.
Wait. You see the exchange of Naira? There's insecurity everywhere. If you mention your place now, you know you can't go to your place free. So now business has collapsed. Multinationals are leaving Nigeria. The unemployment is sorry. So crime rate has gone up. Unemployment has gone up. We are saying that the Igbos are good managers. Let an Igbo son come and restore Nigeria's dignity. If an Igbo becomes the president, the exchange rate of Naira will come down. The Igbos, if there's any group that want one Nigeria, it is the Igbos. If you go to your place, the Igbos are investing. A person that is using his money to invest in your place wants one Nigeria. So if Yakas, Abdulaziz, if I know your place, go to your place, remove the indigenous, the next people there are Igbos. People that are using their private money, resources to invest in your place, you said that they don't want one Nigeria. And let me also remind you, not to threaten to secede from Nigeria before even independence. Go and check history. Not once, not twice, up to 3 times. Go and check history. So the North was deferred to threaten.
So we're talking of contemporary issues.
No. He said,
because we don't have time.
He said that the Igbos are threatening. Igbo has never threatened to leave Nigeria because Igbos have used their personal money to invest in every part of Nigeria. The Igbos want one Nigeria more than any other ethnic group in Nigeria. And so now, the merit he's talking of, I don't know how you define merit. You go to GCE, you see that the Igbos will come top. Go to JAMB, Igbos come top. Go to any public exams, Igbos come top. When it comes to leadership, you are talking of merit. If merit is by standard, we know it. The Igbos will have it first because they will do it. But we have structural imbalance that put us in a disadvantaged position. And we are saying, even this democracy is talking of, we compensated the Southwest. And democracy was there. That doesn't diminish the quality of people that came out.
Mr. Charles,
so we are saying
quickly,
Nigeria should give the Southeast a chance. We produce a wonderful president that will restore the dignity of Nigeria.
Just quickly, let me go back to my previous question that you didn't answer. Talking about what other options are there for the Igbos if presidency eludes them, and how do you reconcile the calls for Igbo presidency and the calls for secession?
Yes, first is that I believe very sincerely that the presidency will not elude us. We are working hard. The presidency will not, the next president of Nigeria is going to be of Southeast extraction by the special grace of God. It will not elude us. Second, we are saying, like you said, the elder didn't, you asked me, you said that the elder didn't caution the youths. Do you know that the President General of Ohanes Ndigbo, his house was burnt by angry youths?
I mean, at the right time when this started.
This thing happened? No, we did. We did. But the truth is that no person has been able to pimp. IPOB has washed their hands clean. They have no hands in what is happening in the Southeast. What is happening in the Southeast, it was designed by people who do not want us to produce president, because all these things have been happening. They have not arrested any person and say it's an IPOB member. Okay. Look at when the Owerri Correctional Center was invented.
Time is actually not on our side right now. Thank you so much. We wish we actually had more time to discuss this.
Thank you so much.
But we'll definitely do this again. Thank you so much, spokesperson of Coalition of Northern Groups, Abdulaziz Suleiman, for joining us in the studio, and also Secretary of the Igbo Elders Consultative Forum, Professor Charles Nwekeku. Thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, with that, we'll wrap up the show, but we'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same station. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for staying with us. I am Abdulaziz. See you tomorrow at 6.